Hello, hi, and welcome to a new game dev stream. I'll probably sound a little bit different. I've got a new microphone, so yeah, proper new microphone and audio interface set up and everything now. So I've finally got my headset back on, which means I'm hoping over the next week to look into integrating like music into the stream, so it's not just complete silence between me talking and such. Because at the moment the game hasn't got any audio other than the gun, which I have no idea how loud this is going to be. Oh, that's loud. Getting low of that. But yeah, it's got like no actual I've got no like music or anything in the game, no sound effects. That's something we're gonna add, obviously. Just not yet. Because we've got other stuff that need adding first. But yeah. So far it's gonna the new microphone audio interface means I have got to re-record most of the lines for the video that I'm working on that I did. That I'm also a slight update on that. So I uploaded some of the devlog streams to YouTube, Volteripal, and then I realized that if I try and put both because I'm not streaming on YouTube as well. I can't. If I was doing that, I'd just put the YouTube live. It just leave it in the YouTube live section, and it'd be in its own section. It wouldn't need anything else. But because I'm streaming on Twitch, when I upload the stream as a VOD, it just goes into the normal video section, and I feel like it's just going to cluster my channel full of a bunch of stream VODs that no one really. Well, no, people want to watch, but hopefully, people hopefully want to watch. But it's going to cluster it, and it's going to be when people go on the channel, it's going to be like, what's the main content, what's the VODs, you know. So I think I'm in the process of making a second channel. I'm just getting like all the art set up for it. I think I've actually got that sorted. I've just got to upload the videos now, and I'm going to be uploading my VODs there instead. And my main channel will be for the devlogs and such. So that'll be something that's coming in the future, probably over this week. Hopefully over this week if I get around to it. But yeah. So far we've got in let's go back onto the actual game now. So the game is progressing. I'm going to start working on it more in the week because I really haven't in a current schedule and all that. I get back from work at like 4. I say 4. I finish work at 4, and it's normally because I work on like 6 till 4, and depending on the day, I also go to the gym afterwards because I'm trying to lose weight, and that doesn't leave me a lot of time to get the game done before I need to go to bed. And I also want to try and relax a bit in my evenings as well because I have been at work all day. So it's difficult finding the time to dedicate to the game. It's not like I don't find making the game relaxing and fun. It's just I don't want to think. I just kind of want to unwind and just play like a game or something. So it's yeah. So what I'm gonna start doing is getting up before I go to work, like pretty early, very early, about like 4 a.m. I don't know how this will go. I tried it once in the past, getting up at like 5, and it was a bad week to do it because I had to keep like doing stuff in the evening that would eat up all my time, and I wouldn't be able to get any actual thing. I wouldn't get anything done in the evening. I wouldn't be able to enjoy myself. So I was just very miserable for that week. But I'm hoping this attempt of it goes a little bit better because I haven't got so much stuff to do in the evening anymore. But the stuff I do have to do and want to do just takes up a tad bit more time than I'd like, and it doesn't give me much of a chance to do game development as well as play games, as well as go to the gym, as well as cook and go shopping and all that stuff. So I'm hoping this will work better. That's the idea. So yeah. So yeah, hopefully that means the game will progress a bit faster. It also means I can, because some of that time as well will have to be dedicated to editing and making videos and stuff. But I'm gonna try to do that mainly on the weekend afternoons after I'm done. I'm gonna do recording of that on like the weekend afternoons after I'm done with like the dev logs and whatever I'm doing after the not the dev logs, dev streams. And then I'm going to use the time in the week to either edit that or make the game. That's kind of what I want to do. I'm not going to focus too much on the devlogs because my main focus is on the games. But I do want to make devlogs as well. Or at least devlog-esque videos. But yeah. On to the actual game then. That's enough of like a mini update. We've been going on that for about 5 minutes. So on to the actual game. So we've got so far in the game, we've got the enemies are working, their AI and behavior is all set up. I'm pretty happy with how they behave. Obviously, they're going to need some tweaking in terms of speed and damage to make them more interesting to fight, because at the moment they're fairly slow. And they only do like 1 damage. The Abyssal Towers, I was working on them last. And I got them to work as I wanted to, I think. So first person blueprints. Where's it? Enemy? Melee ranged. So now when they do spawn projectile, it does a. It will shoot. It will have the animation here, and it'll do like a random delay before they shoot the next one. It could be very quick. It could be very long. So basically, they'll stay there for like a certain amount of shots, and it'll be a random amount of shots between 1 to 5. Because I don't want them to like teleport, shoot, so they're a pain in the ass to hit. But I don't want them to stay there. I want it to be slightly randomized, so it kind of feels. Because if it's always the same, the enemies will start to feel less like enemies you're working around and more just like obstacles. These are supposed to be like not intelligent enemies, but enemies that are like have their own behaviors and such. So yeah. Hopefully. So that we got that set up last time. So the enemies are kind of set up as I want them to be for now. Now, when I was recording footage for the devlog, I noticed a problem with the perk screen. Again, I know, I thought we was done with it. Where I think it's just better if I show you. So if we kill all the enemies, also optimization is going to be a thing I've got to work on as well. The tooltip just doesn't work. The perk itself does. Like, that's giving me drone, but it's not. The tooltip isn't working in the UI, and I don't know why. So I've got to check. That's one. First thing we're doing today is fixing that. After that, before we get the. No, we're not going to make a UI. Yeah, so after that, we're going to start working on implementing the map. A map, I guess. And because I need like an environment, a proper map environment to properly playtest the game and get a feel for it. Also, there's another thing where I'm fairly certain this spawner here. Don't know why the outline is like this. Why is it like this? Is it because I did F11? Nope. I don't know why it's like that. Not the outline there. Details. What sense details? So this this has got barrier. But for some reason, when the enemies are spawning in, it's not checking for the barrier, and I don't know why. So that's another thing I've got to check. Actually, I do know why. I'm fairly certain it's because if I go to melee, enemy. If I... Where is it? Do this instead. Compile save. Yeah, that's why. But yeah, I've got to change, make sure the content. Where is it? UI, the tooltip, and perk window random. So it's when I hover over them. I think it might be on the buttons actually. Perk button, graph. Update perk UI. So when this updates, it's got a thing called update where it will get the perk data and that's a custom event. Creates the perk tip, sets the tooltip. So what do I do for the shop? So when I do the shop, it's... So I do this now. I query the perk. And then I update it. So I think I'm going to just go duplicate that. Go to graph. Go to the update perk UI. Do the same thing here. The target is... I think I create a reference to it in... Yeah, I do. So... Promote to variable. Tool tip. Okay. Now I don't need to worry about updating a perk on here because it shouldn't need to. So let's try this again. Nope, still not working. Why? On perk button, update perk UI, which happens as the beginning. We're getting the perk data out row, setting it there, breaking it, putting it in there, creating the tooltip widget. Oh, because I forgot to do the update command. Wait. Oh, fucking hell. It's because I did this. I'm a dumbass. Event graph, update perk UI. This one's the one I want. Create tooltip widget. Promote to variable. Tooltip. Plug that in there, plug that in there. Plug that in there, and then we do query perk, and then we do update perk. Compile, save, pray. And it's teleported him under the map. That's something else we're going to look into. Hey, there we go. That works. So that should work fine. Now one thing. What's the key that gives me all my perks again? Blueprints, BP, game. Blueprints, first person, play character, level component. This one. So to give myself all the perks, it's currently debug L. No, it's not. It's B. So press B, I've got all the perks now. Which isn't creating the 3 points like it should. Okay. Close these. Player character. Also, I think some of the perks are causing some weird things with damage. That's something I got to look into. I think that's bullet split. Or area of effect. Yeah, it's being weird. So that's something I've definitely got to look into. Oh, it's hitting the volume. Yeah, that's something that shouldn't happen. So what collision has this got? Ah, that's why. Ignore. Also ignore these. Compile save. So now if I go B, there we go. That's working. Yeah, okay. So that's what I was wondering why that was being weird. It's because the volume overlapped. No, blocked the trace. I was like, why am I doing no damage? It's because the fucking volume's like Mr. Presidenting the enemies. So yeah, we got the. God, where is it? It's in the UI. I made this system. I can't remember where the fuck things are. So it's probably because of the way I've done this now. So for each loot perk button array, sets visibility to hidden. Then there's 4 random perks. If there's no perks, it should be no perk, 3 points, set visibility to hidden on all of those. But we're never setting it to visible. That's why. Let's try this again. Compile, save, yes. So go B. The damage over time. Alright, that's working. We just need to... Actually, wait, did that perk work? Make sure I get the points. Shit. 1,000. yeah, it's giving me like 1,000 points. So yeah, that's working. I think, hopefully. Yeah. So the problem is that when the perk tooltip for that isn't setting because it's over. Where's the perk window? It's not an event construct. It's on update. Mind you, when it's perk window random, perk button, update. Yeah, so we send in perk data when we create it anyway, and then we just do a command to update it. So I reckon it's fine if I go graph perk tooltip event construct. Just skip that. Save. Let's try this. God, this will look better when it's not in like not all these just random spheres. Also, maybe when the enemies actually spawn properly. That's another thing that we're having problems with now. Great. Yes, that still works. Okay, so we've got one last thing I want to do with that tooltip actually is make sure I want to remove the 0 and 0 out of those entirely. So on the perk tooltip designer, so we've got max tier. How do we get the max tier actually? Oh, because we've got current tier and we've got perk tiers. Right, got it. Oh, I know what I can do. So we got drag this, drag this. So if this equals 0, this will be max tier and cost. We'll still set them, I guess, but we'll just make them invisible. So get branch. If it's 0, then get max tier, get tier. Get this one as well. I think that's the slash. And get the cost. And set visibility. I want to set all these to collapsed. There we go. Drag that there, drag that there, drag that there, and that there. And if it's false, they're going to be visible. And just as like a failsafe in case, I know somehow it's going to be visible, 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 and visible. Okay. Compile, save, play. Let's go. You know, B. They're still there. Why? They literally shouldn't be. Hang on. If the perk data tiers, which sets the max tier, is 0, which print why it here. There we go. Compile, save, go, play. Me. God, I couldn't even see it appear. Yeah, I actually can't see. There's too many prints going on because of all the perks. So this should be running whenever it does either event construct or update, right? Put the hidden. See if that works. Nope. That's odd. That's really odd. You set the text, and then it should be getting that value, the data tiers, seeing if it's equal to 0, and if it is, setting it to. If I put this to hidden, and it changes, it means it's reading it as more than 0, right? Okay. Uh-huh. So what information am I sending when I do perk button, event graph, update perk UI, 3 points? What am I actually sending over as tiers? I'm sending over 1. That's why. Okay. Settle these to visible again. Bar, save, yes, go. B. There we go. And if I go over to the shop, where things cost money, it has the perks and the cost. It's still increases the cost of the same perk, not other perks. Perfect, cool, done, great. Okay, the UI, the shop UI is finally working again. Again. God, I'm having so many issues with UI. So that's another thing down. The only thing left to do with that is to make it look nice. And that should genuinely be it for the shop UI and all that shit. I'm hoping. God, I hope. So next thing we've got is why were you... So it should start next wave. Round started. 1, 2. Okay, here's work. You know what it might have been? I think one of the enemies might have went out of bounds. Because if I block them... Yeah. Now, to be fair, that should never be able to happen. So the reason that's happening is because of the way I've done barriers. And that's kind of more of a temporary fix. Well, because I haven't set up animations. So what's happening at the moment is they're approaching a barrier. And they're going... And they're teleporting forward X amount of distance, right? Which causes a problem of if their trajectory is off, what they're doing is they're teleporting through this wall over here and just falling in this pit. And the way their death works, if they just get destroyed, they don't count as dying. And they're getting destroyed, but they're not. So the game's not registering them as dying. So the rounds just never end. It's kind of soft locks the game. So I need to prevent that from ever happening, basically. So for now, it's fine. But the main thing I've got to do is either do one or two things. Making it so that if whatever reason they get destroyed, like in that, like by the kill barrier, it will trigger them dying, so that this won't happen. Gone burping as I'm talking. Or I just make sure that they can never clip out of bounds and they can never fall through the world and stuff like that, which they shouldn't do. The only reason they're doing it there is because of the way they're teleporting. That being said, the knockback can potentially cause a problem with that as well. So there will be some things to consider there. So the next thing I want to do. So I've got a few things that we can do. Next, so we've got some kind of UI we could do with making. And I'm not on about like making it nice and having a menu screen that goes like, ooh. I'm on about just having it so that there's a restart, but because at the moment when I die, it just straight up restarts, which is fine for now, actually. But yeah, eventually we're gonna need a death animation for the player. But I think I'll do that when I actually make the model that I want to use for the player. Because at the moment they're just the stock Unreal dude holding this is just the stock first person template with the FOV changed slightly. I want to change that so it's not just this. But for that, also I kind of want to mess with the mouse because a lot of Unreal games feel the same, and I want to see if I can change how the mouse movement feels, so maybe a little bit better or something. I don't know. So fortify. You can see Fortify's working where I do more damage based on how long I've stood still. Very nice, very nice. Snail bullets. All these perks should work. They're not working as well as I'd like some of them to. And there's some bugs I think I've still got to figure out. But they're all working. I think it's now kind of important to actually focus on making a map. So let's get on to that. So go content, environment. No, not a content environment. First person, maps. So for now, this is called map 1. And at the moment, it's just this. And I'm going to try. I think all the spawners are set up correctly. So I don't think I need to mess with that at all, which is nice. But the thing I need to try and do is kind of play test and get a feel for what this feels like to play. This area here is definitely in need of changing because it's very, well, yeah. This area over here as well. So let's give this a go. What the hell was that? That was a target. Let's get rid of that. So this will be the starting area, and I want to see if this feels big enough. So the invisible walls are a bit finicky. Also, I feel really floaty. And it feels very laggy. I don't know what frame rate this is running at. But it doesn't feel like 60. Oh, fuck! I know why. Where is it? I know why it looks and feels so weird. It's because motion blur is on this map. Where's the post processing volume? There it is. I want to go to world settings, details. Also, at the moment, the project's still on Unreal Engine 5.3. Probably, I might try and transfer it to 5.4. I just hope it doesn't. I'll give that a go. Hopefully, it won't break the game. I've got to download 5.4 first, though. Where is it? Motion. Somewhere here. Just go blur. Motion blur, here we are. Turn that shit down. There we go. Yeah, it's definitely not running at... I don't know if it's running at 60. It doesn't feel like 60. That is definitely not 60. It's always get like a frame rate counter in Unreal. Also, they should not be giving collision when they're dead. I need to change that. I don't know. Something is colliding. So I think having the one spawner is too easy. So get rid of this text. Because having this one spawner is just literally a case of look here, shoot enemies. If you ever play the COD Zombies one room challenge maps, it's very... They start out incredibly easy because it's just one window. The one window challenge maps. And they're fun once they get going, but it's just kind of like a mindless kill fest. Like, you don't even really... It's literally just for the kind of people who just want to sit and shoot a bunch of zombies over and over and over again. You don't have to think about where you are on the map. You don't have to think about any of that. You just shoot. So, I want to get another spawner. Oh. The problem is, because I'm to substitute actual geometry at the moment, I'm using these invisible walls, which are a bit of a pain to actually put down. gonna drag that there. I do actually want to look a bit more into level design as well and see if there's better like blocking out techniques for Unreal, as well as just in general level design concepts, because it's something I've not looked into too much. So I'm just kind of going off feel at the moment. I think that should already be set up, but I'm not sure. So barrier 2, set barrier. Room spawns got to add that one. Ow. And that should be all I need to actually do. Yep. Is all I need to do. Cool. So yeah, this is kind of the system I've got going on here. So the spawners can be linked to these barriers. These are like actual barriers that the enemies have to go over. Not these aren't linked to anything. These are just there. Actually, I don't even know if these have any code. I don't think they do. I think they're just an object. Oh, it's open on the other monitor. Yeah, no, they're literally just a object that it's like. So these are effectively where the windows would be in like COD Zombies. And I might make it so these can be barricaded. I don't know yet. But enemies will come over, and this will be like a hallway that leads somewhere or something. They'll walk through, and they'll find the path to this, and they'll teleport over it. For now, it'll be a jumping animation later. This is the why I don't know why the windows are laid out like this. Just gonna pin this. So this barrier, this is linked to the barrier, and you've got the accessible and active. This is the active volume, and it's accessible. So the volume is linked to the other room's volume here, and what that does is, if I go in this volume here, any volume which is accessible from this volume, not just in general, from between this volume and volume. So there's a barrier. This barrier is linked to the volumes, and effectively, what it will do is it will check this will check if it's got any barriers linked to it, and then it will get whatever these barriers volumes are linked to. What this does is it prevents basically the issue I was having where, let's say, we've got over here, this is a point in the map where it splits left and right, and it basically goes around in a big circle. We can go over here, come over here, and come back behind this area. So in theory, what a player could do is they could go around the entire right-hand side of the map, go down here, go through this teleporter, go back up here, open this door, and then they could, I think that's the only door. Yeah. So they open that door, and then that unlocks this entire area. And then the game before would see that as this volume's now unlocked. So whenever you come all the way back through here, and let's say this door is still here, but the back end of it's accessible, you'd enter this volume, and it would see this volume, and this volume's variable for being accessible. It's just been ticked, so it's like, yep, seems all good from here. And the problem that leads to is it just means that, yeah, it kind of just causes the enemies will start spawning here, basically. They would start spawning inside with these room spawners, this massive room spawners, and because they can't go over this barrier here, the only way they could get to the player is by crawling all the way. Actually, they wouldn't even be able to reach the player at all. They would actually just be stuck in this instance because enemies can't go through the teleporter. So they would spawn and they wouldn't be able to. They can't use this teleporter, and they can't drop down or anything. So at least with how the AI is currently, they would just be trapped, and they'd just be stood still until the player released them, or went around the entire map, used a teleporter which despawns the enemies and puts them back in the spawning pool, and then goes here and then fights them here, or goes back over and then they'll respawn. But yeah, and the same is true for the other way. So because if they go into this room spawners count as accessible because the thing would be ticked. So then they would start going all the way around this way to try and get to them. But again, they can't go through the teleporter, so they get stuck. So what I've done with the spawn system is it checks if there's a barrier between. If this has got a barrier attached to it, this barrier will get any spawn like volumes attached to it, and then it will deactivate the spawners in those volumes, except for, of course, the one that you're in. It's very long-winded. It's probably not the most optimized way of doing it, but it's the way I found that works. Because like they're trying to make a simple system for a system like this really didn't work. It was. I thought it would be like you think in your head, oh, it's just you go in here, you turn it off, and if I was just doing it so it was just the room spawners, then yeah, it would be fairly easy to just go turn off, turn off. But it's like, okay, but I want them to come from other rooms, so it's more realistic and less. It will help make the game feel less like the world revolves around your character, and more like an actual world, even though it's a dimension which is like full of dead people basically. But yeah, the problem is getting stuff like that to work. The more you go into it, the more complicated it ends up being. So back to play testing this. I need to get rid of that pin thing now because it's just in the way. So at the moment, the enemies are mostly either slower or about the same speed as me. You can see this one here is the same speed as my walk speed. And they've only got a very small chance to do that. And I am still colliding with them. I shouldn't be colliding with them. I think it's when they're attacking. I feel like it's a bit too small of a starting area. Also, I think the enemies are actually a little bit too quick for starting enemies. But they kind of... I mean, there's no audio at the moment, so they kind of just sneak up on me. But they do literally just... They go fairly quick. So maybe I shouldn't make them run at all during stage, like 1 to 5. But yeah, I feel like this is a little bit too small of an area to work with. You can't really group them up at all. No. Spawn in. Oh, right, yeah, because the shop... I haven't actually put down a shop in here yet. Where should I put the shop? For now, I'm just going to whack one here. So yeah, let's make this area a little bit bigger. Because at the moment it's fairly... And let's make this a tiny bit bigger as well. Get rid of that one. Let's put that there. Well, now I need to move everything around. And now I'm going to try and read up on not game design. I'm going to try and read up on like level design and get that bit better, so the level will be more fun and interesting to play. Good idea anyway. Also, I might look into a better way of doing like this, because at the moment, going around putting all these invisible walls to stop players from yeeting themselves off the map, it's not fun. There. That there. Let's make that bigger, put that there. Dish, dish, dish. Skadish, skadish, and skadish. Okay. Don't really need that one, do I? Right, there we go. So that's a bit more of a play area to work with. See what it's like. I mean, it's like a 20%. It's like literally a 10% chance that they spawn in this quick. It's got the dash ability now. Are they all as quick as me now? No, just most of them. Help if I don't keep shooting constantly. So yeah, at the moment they take a lot of damage. So the spawning rates, I think, is a bit. Again, I will be tweaking, but I think this is an alright size. I just might need to adjust their speed. Maybe make it a bit bigger. Just lengthways, like further that way. Shouldn't need to move everything for this. Just enough. Preferably so I can see that still. There we go. Yep. And then just want to extend that. And that. Alright, there we go. Yeah, it gives us a nice amount of space to work with. Again, this will go through many revisions. This is not going to be like... I want to get the map feeling right before I start adding in like the visuals. That's my main like focus with this. So I want to avoid the pitfalls that a lot of YouTube game dev seems to fall into, of making mechanics that focus. Making like mechanics and visually making them interesting early on. Many people in like development have said multiple times, including game dev YouTube, that it causes a lot of problems for them, where they focus more on making things that look nice for a video than making actual improvement to the game, and it causes like this annoyingly weird development cycle of it makes it causes a problematic development where things look visually appealing, but none of it's actually substantial. Like where people have like, look at how cute and cool the character is now. It's like cool, but your gameplay is still like unrefined as hell. Just make that bigger. So I'm trying to avoid that pitfall, basically. You just have to done. The problem is, it does lead to this like whole development looking like there's nothing there because it's more mechanically focused. I've got to get rid of some of those prints at one point. They're not all needed anymore. But yeah, I think this is a better size for the map. I might need to, again... So what should happen now is... enemies will start spawning from here, and I should also see them spawning over there. As you can see, they're spawning there, and they should also spawn in here. Yep, there we go. Now, I can already tell this is going to need to be way wider. This is not enough room. At least not with the speed of the enemies. So let's like, let's try and go around them. That's doable. Yeah, it's far too cramped up there, I think. It needs to be wide enough so that it's easy enough to get around at least one enemy there. So... can shrink that a little bit. And then we're gonna extend. Tell you what, I think these invisible walls are just gonna. I know why I've got them here is so I don't fall off the map. But I think at the moment they're just causing more problems. So I'm just gonna get rid of them. They can come in later when the map itself is more finalized. It's just for now, they're causing a lot of problems. Let's extend that. Push that there. That there, up there. That can go there. That can go there. Shop can stay there for now. That needs to go over there. Extend that a little bit more. Put that against there again. I can go back there. Push that back. Push all that back. And I think that needs to just move right a bit, to be honest. There we go. extend those. And there we go. That's a little bit bigger now. So hopefully that. Put it there. Right. Okay. Let's go. Let's try this again. So we. Oh, I'm on top of the block. So I'm hoping with that it should. Oh. Nope. Hello. Buy this. Does that cost anything? Oh, it did, but it's only 50. Again, need to know what that cost. So yeah, I'm hoping that basically if there's like one or two, like if there's a whole crowd of enemies, then yeah, you shouldn't really be able to get past the whole thing. But like if I'm going around this and I'm looping around, I should be able to like overcome one or two enemies that are like on my way. So if I go around here. So that's one thing I want to do as well, because at the moment, one thing I do want to change is their pathfindings even more so. Is as you can see, they're very hugging of walls. So they no longer group up on each other, but they do still kind of... Oh, I can fall off the map now, I forgot about that. They do still kind of, like, hug around the walls. And that's not exactly great. Because I don't really want them to like come around like clinging to this wall in the middle. I kind of want them to come around more so in the center, away from the walls. And because when you're in an open space, you know, it makes sense they're picking the direct path towards you. Like here, like yeah, okay, fair enough, that works. And then when they're grouped up, they kind of like go around each other. I think that looks fine. But the minute I go like behind here, you see how they kind of like go in a conga line again? Even if it's just as they're going around the pillar, it just makes them too predictable. But for that, I've got to figure out EQS and stuff again. I did something kind of like it before. I just can't remember how I did that. For now, it works, but it's something I want to improve. But in terms of this area, I think it's fine. I think actually I have enough. Yeah, I've got enough points to just buy this. So we've got this enemy coming at us, and we've got enough room to kind of like sidestep them. Especially if we sprint around them. I say as I completely cock it up. Especially if we like sprint around though. And hell, even if we kill this one, we can just walk around him. He'll still swipe at us, but he'll miss. We just walk around him. So yeah. And clear that. So scale has always been something I kind of struggled with level design. I think this area down here is plenty big though. Going up the stairs, I think that's fine. This area I think needs to be bigger because at the moment it's just way too cramped. So that area probably needs to be bigger. I think down here is fine though, where the pillars are. I think there's plenty of room down here. It's probably going to be one of the better areas to train them up. Yeah. I might add in a few spawners though, because I've got 1, 2, 3, 4 at the moment. 2 per floor. I might put another one downstairs. Maybe along here. Maybe here. I don't know. But yeah. So I feel like this area needs to be bigger, and I think the easiest way to do that is just to... if we extend this, gives more room outside the house to play around with. We just grab this, this, and this. Grab this, pull that back out. Grab this, drag that there. Get rid of these invisible walls for now as well. Because again, they're just going to slow me down, get in the way. Drag that there. Snap that back over there. I probably will put some like obstacles inside this house as well. There you go. Stretch it out there. Stretch that out to there. There you go. Let's try that. The character speed is something I want to fiddle around with as well. I think the character's way too fast at the moment. To be fair, it's the same with the enemies. I think they're too fast. But I think, because at the moment they're moving about as fast as the character is, and I think this might actually be a bit too quick. Nope, he doesn't want to. Is the nav mesh not there? N7, isn't it? Oh god, what's the nav mesh key? I thought it was N. I can see the nav mesh isn't there, so. Is it 7 on the numpad? No. Oh, whatever, we'll just stretch it out. There we go, it's now there. Don't want to do that because, yeah. I'm just gonna whack a light here. It's too dark. Let's just get some. Let's get some point lights, preferably above the floor. Go and get another one here. Let's actually make them centered. Would be nice. There we go. It's a bit better. Put them to like 20. Drag that there. Cool, there we go. Now it looks like a underground parking lot. Just to be able to see a bit better. You might notice as well, the post-processing volume actually isn't on this map. So it actually looks very different compared to the normal area. That's why everything looks off as well. Like the gun at the moment is very smooth and not like how it is in the actual game at all. And that's because it hasn't got the settings. Oh, God. But yeah. So yeah, we're coming down here. I might give a bit more room around these pillars. Because there seems to only be enough room for one enemy to fit. Yeah. That's going to be a bit bigger. Let's try about that. God, I feel shattered already. I've only just woke up. Yeah, so now we should have enough room to snoop on by an enemy. And I'm hoping if I can get them to group up a little, they'll come in 2 by 2. Yes, they can. Okay, cool. So I'm hoping this doesn't blind me because the post-processing volume. Just save. So I wanna. God, how do you even do it? Film grain. Put in like material. Post-processing material. Content. I think it's VFX. Nope. So there you go. There we go. And now we got the post-processing. I kind of like how it, like, the massive night and day difference. It does make things noticeably brighter. But just look at the way that light works. It's so good. So now we got the game looking a bit more how it will. God, I forgot to pin that. So we go down here. This might need to be wider. But I think it's a good I think this area is pretty scaled nicely. Again, there's gonna be some stuff here. Now this area is obviously way too small. I can tell that just by looking at it. Because if I come over here, oh, here they come. Oh lordy, oh lordy, they're coming. I do like the layout though, but yeah. It's barely big enough for like one enemy to filter through half these gaps at a time. So that's definitely something that's got to be rescaled. Oh man. God, I feel so tired. I don't know, I went to bed early last night. I just feel absolutely awful, man. But yeah. Save this. Let's get rid of some of these invisible walls again so it's easier to manipulate. So the problem we've got is that it's just, again, way too tight in here. The only way to do that, improve that, is to really expand how big this is. Like that. Well, I expand that. I should probably expand that as well. Just do. No, just do it by feel. It's only block out. Yeah, seems about right. So we're gonna move this along here. If we change that to the local, that can go there. That can go there. That can go there. That can go there. Oh yeah, this one was why I had to. I've got a spawn point that needs to come in. Get rid of these invisible points again. Drag that to there. So now as for this layout of the room, so about there. About there. run past everything, get to this area. Drop down. Slide. Because I'm cool. Oh man, my head is... Ugh. Oh right, yeah, that's partly a problem, isn't it? The path P. It's P. Yes, the pathfinding's a bit messed up here. Go, it's all fine. Oh, I like how that gun looks though. In that lighting, I'm a real big fan of that. It's a bit choppy here and there, but like especially like here, that shading. Oh, I like that. So I think this hopefully will feel like a good size. God. So, you know, we've got like you can lose them there. Can maybe scoot past them. You got to tight a little area here where they can kind of come at you. Mate, yeah, I'm not feeling great. My head's just. Ugh. I think it might be the heat. It's pretty warm here. I'm drinking water, but yeah, I felt better. So now for this portal area, rather than constantly go run over to it, I'm just gonna details. Deselect this as the starting point and select this as the starting point. And yeah, I think it's got to have to be big. I think, to be fair, I think this is big enough. I just think these need to be smaller. Apparently, it has not set this to be the starting volume, even though I thought it would. Is it still starting them over? Where's it starting them? It's still starting them there. Huh. There we go. So now if I press play, it should start spawning here. Cool, cool, cool. Yeah, actually, this might be fine. Bit narrow there. At the moment, they're just squares. I am going to make them more rounded. A lot of areas are going to be more roundy areas, so they're probably going to have to be reworked a little bit. Rather than just straight up squares, it's just for blocking out. It's just easier as a square. Just try it. Nice. That's alright. So yeah, I actually think that island's relatively fine. Just gonna. I don't know why it's like this today. I did something when I was trying to record footage, and now it's set it up like this, and I don't like it. I don't know how to get it to stop being like this on the side. Do this. And that and that. That. And that one. Okay, that should be it. Can't see the other side of the screen because I pinned that like an idiot. Damn it. Okay. Yeah, still fairly conga liney. They're better than they were, but they are still relatively like. Here comes the boys. So yeah, I'm not happy with their pathfinding. Also, the collisions after they die seem to be a bit odd. That area needs to be bigger. This going up here, this needs to be redone. This here is completely just needs to be redone. Same with this area. And this. I'm relatively happy. I'm happier with this. Down here, through here. These all feel different enough that it's good. Same here. I'm actually pretty happy with this area now. This, I like the layout of it. I just need it to be bigger. But yeah. Right. It's currently 11:20. 11:20, 11:40. Been streaming for about an hour and a half. Pretty good so far. I want to keep streaming, but at the same time, my head is not cooperating with me at the moment. I think I need to take a break, so I'm going to stop my stream here, because I've got to go out, and I'm normally late to wherever I go. So I'm going to go get ready now. I'm going to stop streaming early for today. I'll be working on my video later today as well, though, so hopefully that will make up for it. And yeah, as I said, I'm going to try and work a bit in the week as well, so it's not just wholly reliant on these streams for getting stuff done, because I mean, today I've only got like an hour and a half done, but my head is just playing up. I think it's because of how warm this room is, so I'm just going to turn my PC off and go cool down, basically. But yeah, later today I'm going to try and upload all the stream archives to my second channel, which I've set up. And yeah. So for now, that'll be it. It's kind of just like a new stream, getting back into new setup and all that, and explaining stuff that's going on in this one. So yeah, it's been a bit of a short stream. Don't know if anyone turned up. Hopefully they did. I hope you all had a good time. And yeah, we made some good progress on the game. We got some bugs fixed, and we've been started on the map now. So it's been a very productive hour and a half. But yeah, I'm gonna go try and not feel weird, basically.